So what's happened in Rochdale over the count for the by-election? Well, the story is I get it, and I've met Billy. He's all right. He's not a bad guy. He's not the smartest guy in the world. It's a matter of, but you know what I mean. It's like he's what he's left with. He turns up. I think it's like he's not the smartest fellow in the world, but he's of decent character. He's a good man. So at the count, he stood as an independent in the Balderstone-Cuckold by-election, and he caught one of the counters, who were all hand-picked employees of the council who did the counting. They're all council employees. No one of them. She doesn't engage with me on politics. She's one of these, those right-wing thugs. But she's a good old mate of mine. And she's beyond reproach. You know, she's a very honourable person. But it's a matter of, she's already decided who the good guys and the bad guys are. She's a Labour supporter, big time, right? But she's not corrupt like that. You could trust her. But how many of them can you trust? They all are long-term, long-time Labour politicians, and they generally are the same people who work every election. They get it as overtime on the wages. So, say I know one of them who's an honest person who never cheat like that. She wouldn't be able to live with herself. She's one of these people who's like not very good at lying and things like that. But it's like there'll be plenty of others who aren't. And Billy, with his own eyes, and when he pointed it out, it was verified, yes, they'd made a mistake. He caught them stealing from him, not Reform, because that would look iffy. Stealing from him. He only got 180 votes, and the Labour counters stole 125 off him, and gave them to Labour. Where they were collecting, where they were bundling votes into piles, five of his little piles ended up getting rounded up with the Labour number. Now, we've heard of this before around here. It happens, there's allegations of this every time there's an election. But sometimes they get caught and sometimes they don't. And when they get caught, they just rectify it there and then and say, oh, silly me. And they rub your fucking nose in it. That's why, Billy's kicked off. There's a recording of Billy that's a bit out of context where he's very, very, a bit shouty, and the police are being very condescending to him. Where he's hit the roof. It's like, rightfully, because if the shoe was on the other foot and it was Labour who'd had 100 votes, if Reform had 125 votes they didn't earn, put on their total, they'd have made it national news. They'd have talked about reform, corruption, reform, right-wing infiltration. They'd have made a national story out of it. But he catches them and it suddenly becomes an honest mistake. And it's Billy who is out of order for having made a scene and sworn at these local Labour dignitaries. That's the crime. They today are playing the victim no end. It was an honest mistake. It's like this happens every election. You either get caught or you don't, and when you get caught, it's always an honest mistake. This is a pattern in Rochdale. I've got no problems at all with Billy having a run at his mouth at him and telling him, because it's just every time. According to Galloway, Workers' Party, there's still a criminal investigation open as towards the conduct of the count at the last general election. It's like the reason it's not being talked about by anyone is because it's an ongoing criminal investigation. But it's like these criminal investigations, they end up just getting delayed for as often as is possible. They can do it and then just forgotten. That case to come up will be at the back of the list, and it might see the light of day in 3 or 4 years' time. That's the message I get from it. They're not interested in it. It's done. They won the election. Doesn't matter if there were people shuffling around big piles of fucking ballots at the count. Doesn't matter that a Rochdale election looks like a Banana Republic election. Doesn't matter. Billy is out of order because Billy shouted and swore at the local Labour scumbags. How'd you like that? The shoe was on the other foot, be it front page at Guardian. And they'll be talking about right-wing infiltration into our... we need new safeguards. That's what they'll be on about. That's what the story would be today. I say, you see how they play the victim no end, knowing that the same people would seize upon the same opportunity with glee. So it's like...